pop up like that because they're not naturally going to get organic reach, if that makes any sense. Like for example, if you post a picture of you and your kids or you and your dog, that's the kind of post where Facebook is going to point out that it's getting like lots of activity, because those are the kind of posts where someone is going to like, comment, or share on it. But if you post like join my fitness support group, those generally don't, they need more eyes on them to get those likes, comments, and shares. Does that make sense? They're trying to sell you advertising, but that's just sort of like their thing. I wouldn't worry too much about that. I get those all day long. I get them because I have a bunch.
That was the first one I had gotten, and I was like, oh, yeah, I'm supposed to do something with this now?
Right. That's what they want you to think, I think.
Yeah, which I did.
Yeah.
And probably if we weren't having this call, I would have done it. But I thought, well, I'll just ask.
No, that's a good question. I'm just like, I really only boost our calls to action and maybe like video posts here and there when Amy does them. But, like our regular posts, which get Facebook's attention, sometimes I just kind of leave those, for Facebook to decide how much organic reach I'm going to get on them.
And when you say organic reach, what does that mean? I literally just started a like page.
Okay, good. Okay, so I'm sorry. Like, I don't want to use, if I use any weird term or whatever that you don't understand, just let me know, because I don't want to assume that you're there yet. So organic reach is like when you make a post, okay, and you can go to your like page and see it, and it'll say seen by however many people, okay, and and that was not sponsored. You didn't have to pay for that. It's called organic reach. It's how many people saw your post without sponsorship. So and then there's also paid reach. So paid reach is when you have a call to action and you pay to, you go through Ads Manager and you pay for more people to see it because you want a response from them. You want either for them to be interested in your challenge group or to be interested in your fitness support page or whatever.
Okay.
So
when it does tell me, 45 people saw it, are those people only people that have liked my page, or
so great question.
People?
Yeah, that's a great question. There's two answers to that. If there's no shares, you can probably assume that they were people that had liked your page, okay? But when someone shares it, it goes out on their wall, and so you can't really control who's gonna see it. But generally speaking, it is. Generally speaking, it is. It is the people that have liked your page. Let me just close my door. Sorry, I'm kind of a loud talker. I don't want to wake everybody up.
So in order for someone to see my page that hasn't already liked it, I need people to share it, or I need to pay?
Yeah, generally speaking, it's the deck is sort of stacked against you nowadays with Facebook. When it comes to building your like total, it used to be that you could get organic likes, they're called, build the page without paying for advertising. Nowadays, it's really hard. Like if you ever look at Amy's page, she's got a lot of 30-something thousand likes. Almost all of them were paid for. You almost have to pay for them nowadays. And there's training on that in the like page group. I wouldn't pay for too many likes nowadays. I would pay for, maybe a few thousand at the most. And then I would, if you had budget to spend, I would spend it mostly on your calls to action, on your boosting posts that have a goal of getting a response, like Michelle was talking about in the video today. Either building your fitness support group, or trying to fill a challenge group, or inviting to an opportunity, a coach opportunity, whether it be group or 1 hour thing, whatever.
Okay, so boost a specific post rather than boost your page to get likes.
Yeah, there's two. Right. Well, right. Here's the thing. See, I'm of the belief that the like page has to be that you'll get better results on your boosts of calls to action if you have more likes on your page, because it's sort of like, I think they call it social proof. You know, it's more people have liked the page, so maybe the average person might say, okay, this page is great. You know, 8,000 people have already liked it. You know, I'll like it too. So like, as opposed to like when somebody only has like maybe 100 likes on their page or something. So you've got to get it to the point where you get past sort of the social proof stage.
Right.
And once you do that, then yeah, I mean, I would spend most of the budget on calls to action, because that's going to give you the more immediate return. You know, like if you're spending whatever amount per month, it is nice to get that back at least. And the easiest way to get that back is to fill challenge groups and build your fitness support page, like Michelle was talking about. But like page is great. I mean, our whole business is based on Amy's like page. It really is. It fuels our whole, like a lot of you guys on your team had these deeper cold markets than we had. Amy didn't really have much of a cold market. So we really, our business really started to fly when we got the like page going a few years ago. And, I'm still a big believer in it. It's gotten a little more difficult, but I'm a huge believer in it.
Like right now, when these guys are just opening up their like page, they should be inviting everybody, like all their friends, to like their page, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to get like that first couple, 100 likes easy, that's a good way to do it for sure.
That's what I mean. When I opened my like page without even knowing, really, I was just copying what Brian and Amy did before I even talked to them. But that night, I remember the first night just going through my friends list and inviting everybody.
Yeah.
By Sunday night, I had like 300 people.
Right.
Just from inviting all my friends. So that kind of just started the whole thing. And then I paid, what did I pay? Like $1 a day or something?
It wasn't much. Yeah, you built it very gradually.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it doesn't really, it definitely, it doesn't have to be big bucks. It can be if you want to build quickly. But and if you want to build quickly, I have, strategies that I can recommend as far as that goes as well. But no, it doesn't have to be big bucks at all. You just want to be careful with that too, because if you pull all your friends from your friends list, you have to decide what's best for you. Like you pull out, back in the day, I can't remember what we did, but if you pull all your friends from your friends list, then they're going to be seeing double posts from you all the time. You had mentioned that, look at the like page as a tool to meet new people. And that's really how I look at it also. It's nothing more than a tool to be able to meet new people quicker than we were like back in the day when Amy started. So, it's up to you. If you want to keep things separate, or if you want to, that's fine. If you want to get your first couple hundred likes off your friends list, lots of coaches do that as well.
Well, and that's what I did when I started it up like 2 days ago or whenever I did. I added all my friends on, like just women though. Was I supposed to do men? I didn't.
I just went through my friends. Like I wouldn't have invited any of my best friends because I was too big. I didn't want them to like it. Like I was so messed up when I first started it, but I would have went through and specifically picked people to like it.
That's a good idea. The reason why I'm hesitant to recommend it, I would do what Michelle did, because the reason why I was hesitant to recommend it is if you go in and invite every single person on your friends list, they might be outside of your target market. And then you're going to be paying for advertising to these folks that maybe you don't, like I always think like long-term, like this may be great in the beginning, but then long-term I'm going to be paying for advertising to these guys. And maybe maybe I don't even want to convert these guys, so you have to decide. But I would do it the way Michelle did it and sort of cherry pick the friends that you could see.
Yeah. And I think I did. Like, it's all women, and it's mostly women who are already in my support group that I've become friends with. So I have like 170 likes or something like that. But now I don't have anyone else to invite to like my page.
That's okay.
It's okay.
Now I just don't know what to do.
Well, those 170, what you need them to do is start engaging on your page, because as soon as they engage on your page, it's going to populate to their page. So then all of their people are going to see it, and then maybe they'll like it.
Yeah, and that's kind of what's starting to happen very slowly. I guess it's just a slow process.
It's very slow. Like, you're probably eventually going to have to spend some money on your like page.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah, and that's fine. And I just wonder, at what point do I do that, and what should I do?
I mean, the day you're ready to spend money is because you're going to end, like Michelle said, you're going to end up there anyways. Every time you see anybody really doing well with a like page, they're investing in it. It's just, the deck is just so stacked against you to be successful, without investing in Facebook. It's just, so as long as you kind of get past that, whenever you're ready, and I never give a budget. If people tell me their budget, I've in the past sort of said, okay, this is how I would sort of separate it and use it. But whenever you feel most comfortable, because now is the time of year where you can really gain momentum in your business, and now is the time of year where my call is to actually kill it and maybe they don't in December as much, or November or whatever. You get the response in the next 4 or 5 months that really propel your business for the rest of the year. I mean, I went back and looked at all of my numbers, and you can't even compare it. You get a much better result this time of year for sure. People are ready to get back into health and fitness. But that said, also, I wouldn't start running ads until you really feel comfortable with what you're doing, because it's not the kind of thing where you just kind of want to, kind of go in with one foot. You really got to jump in, and you want to feel comfortable with the ads manager screen and who your targets are going to be, and the exclusion process of excluding body coaches, stuff like that. And don't be afraid to reach out when you're ready to dive in, because that's what I do. I help coaches do that all the time.
Okay. I think that's what I do need help with. Like, I look at the page and I know how to post and I know how to schedule a post, and pretty much other than that, I don't have a clue.
Okay.
I mean, I haven't really looked into it too much, because I knew we were doing this call and I just thought I'd take a step, but I guess I need to just start setting aside some time and really learning how to.
Yeah, and it's not the most overwhelming thing in the world. I mean, if we had 5 minutes, I could do a screen share right now and I'd show you what it looks like to boost a call to action or whatever. Whatever you guys want to do tonight. I'm happy to answer any questions. Or
you want to do that quick?
Yeah, I mean, I'm winging it. I have nothing prepared, but I mean, I can certainly go through it.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let me see if this works.
So this might be a dumb question. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
First of all, I don't know why my name is not showing up as Heidi. That's really weird. I don't know who that person
Who
is.
is Baker
IC.
I got a new iPhone and apparently it belonged to somebody else first, I guess. I don't know.
Let's be honest. Was that iPhone hot?
It could be.
Did you buy that on the streets of Toronto?
No, it's my work phone. So I don't know. Maybe they got it off in the underground market somewhere.
That's funny.
I know. Anyways, so this might have been covered because I was a couple of minutes late, but I have 130 likes or whatever on my page, but then when I go into a post and I see that it's reached like 430 people, what does that mean? How does it reach?
Probably, you got to go back and check it out, but I would bet money that it was shared. And that it showed up on, let's just say it's on your like page, and Michelle saw it and said, I'm going to share this to my wall, okay? Then that sort of opens up a whole new opportunity for that post to be seen, because then it can be seen from Michelle's friends who haven't necessarily liked your page. So that's how you can get reach easily above your like total. Does that make sense?
Yep.
I mean, it could have been shared. It also could have been like I've seen where like it shows up in my newsfeed where, like, for example, Michelle will like one of Heidi's posts, and then it shows up as a recommended post in newsfeed. It could happen that way also, I think.
Okay, so it's just showing up on that reach means it's showing up on somebody else's news feed.
Yeah. Because if you look at your like page, almost no one goes to a like page, right? It does happen, but most posts are seen in newsfeed. The vast majority are seen in newsfeed. So, whenever a post it goes over the like total, and we have that happen too, it's generally because it got a lot of shares, or, a lot of activity, a lot of engagement. Facebook deemed it worthy to be shown in other news feeds.
So when you like a page, do you not get a notification from Facebook that there's a new post in that page?
You don't. Okay, here's the deal with Facebook. Organic reach is something in the neighborhood of it varies by the post, but on average it's somewhere between 2 and 6%. Okay, so if you have these numbers, if you have 1,000 likes, your average post is gonna, somebody do the math for me, 20 to 60 people, right? That's the average post. Now, if you've got a great like page, if you've got lots of engagement, you're gonna see more activity, and Facebook is gonna deem the post more worthy of being shown. But, Amy's got 40,000 likes. Her average reach on a regular post is somewhere between 1 and 5,000. They don't show you, just because you have paid for the likes, that doesn't mean that they're going to show your posts, in every case. But that's okay also, that doesn't, because this is just a tool. It's not like, it's necessary that, every one of your followers needs to see all your posts. Think about how jammed newsfeed would be if every page, you saw every post from every page you've ever liked or all of your friends.
Right.
It just, it just doesn't work that way. But that's okay, because generally speaking, the rule is that, the gurus always say, as long as you can get one of your posts into your followers' newsfeed every week, you'll sort of stay at the front of their mind. So that's what we aim for.
Okay.
Brian,
Yes.
what's an average, what would be a really good post as far as engagement and likes? You want to get both, right?
Yeah. I mean, I guess it just depends on what your goal. Are you talking about just a general piece of content, content post?
Yeah. Where I'm going with this too is wondering if it's a good idea. Say you've got 2 posts back to back that are really engaging. Would it be a good idea then to post a call to action after that? Does it matter when Facebook world, do they bump things up for people to see a little more if you get more engaging posts, or no?
Okay, so that was the old way to do it. The old way to do it was post, jab, and then the right hook. That's where that came from, right?
Right.
I don't know anyone, though, that is able to do that nowadays, because calls to action just generally need to be boosted. They're just not going to be shown. If you ever give your calls to action post a few minutes after you post it, you can easily compare what Facebook gives the organic reach on a call to action versus a regular, content post for your like page. And there's just no comparison. I don't know, whatever reason, the algorithm weeds them out, and they know that you're trying to get something off this post, so that you're more likely to pay for it, and they're not going to show it. But yeah, I mean, if you can post great content, a few times a day, and then post a call to action, maybe your call to action would be cheaper, and that's good too, because if you've got more engagement coming on that, the call to action will be cheaper. Which means you'll get more reach for your money, which means if your call to action is good, you'll get better results for your money.
Right on.
So,
okay.
It's hard to say, but that was the way to do it back 3 years ago. That was definitely the way to do it before Facebook went real heavy with the ads platform, went public.
Before they became creepy and took over everybody's Facebook.
I mean, they've always been creepy. They've always known everything about everybody.
Yeah.
But when they went public and they really hammered organic reach hard, a lot of these things changed. You just can't you can't really be successful with a call to action anymore unless it's promoted, unless it's boosted.
Right.
I
Okay.
mean, you just can't. I'm the admin on probably 15 different pages, so I have the advantage of seeing what coaches are doing in all areas, and I've never seen it.
Okay.
Got a boost. Sorry, it stinks.
That's okay.
Yeah. So can you guys see my screen?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So just really quickly, would you think it would be helpful if I just show you how to go in and use Ads Manager to, boost a post? Would that work?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. All right. So let me know if anything weird happens here, and if you want to, but let me see. Okay. So I hit everybody's video feed. So just shout out if you have any questions. So this is the Ads Manager screen. You can view it. I set it up here, but in case you didn't see it, it's always in the groups here. If the Powerball numbers come out, this might abruptly stop, just so you guys know. So, okay, so then you would click on the Ads Manager button here. They're all from Canada. They probably have no idea about the Powerball.
Oh yeah.
The Powerball in the United States is $1.5 billion right now. So it's all the rage. Okay, anyways. Okay, so I clicked on the Ads Manager link it's over in your groups. It's always at the top. And okay, so I always just go to this green button up here at the top. It says create an ad. I do this, by the way, I never use the boost button anymore. Okay, I'm always using create an ad, that green button through Ads Manager. And I'm going to show you why. You get a lot more options when you do it this way. So you've got a bunch of options here. I want to show you a couple. Boost a post is what you would use when you are boosting a call to action. So if you want to promote your fitness support group or challenge group, or you want any particular post seen by more people, that's when you would use boost a post. Sometimes I will do events. Maybe some of you guys have seen us do it. I know Michelle does that a lot as well, where you're going to use the call to action, but you're going to do it in the format of an event. So you could choose that one as well. The other one we use sometimes is get video views. So if you have a call to action where instead of a picture, you're using video, you can do that type of campaign as well. So in this case, I'm just going to click boost your post, and then I'm going to click. You're not going to have that option unless you have more than one like page. And by the way, this is in this scenario, I've already put the post out there. So I've put the call to action out on Amy's like page, just like any other post. Okay, so I've got to go through and find it to boost it. So it's going to give me like my last however many posts. I'm just going to go through. These are all Amy's posts. Let's just pick, this is a call to action I ran last week. I'm going to select that. And then you're going to go to select your audience and budget. Okay, so this is essentially the meat of the Ads Manager screen. So up here, you're going to be able to select what country you're going to boost to. So you can select United States or Canada. I have a rep at Facebook that's been helping me out a little bit. She works for Facebook, so she's got a really broad knowledge of the platform. And she has recommended if you're going to split countries, do 2 separate ads. So if you're going to run one to folks in the United States, just do that. Don't pick United States and Canada. If you're going to do Canada, just do that. Okay. So like in this case, for example, I would pick the United States. We market only to women. That's just Amy's core market. And generally we pick something in the age range of 25 to 45. Let's just use an example. Okay. That might be different from you if you feel like your target market is older or younger. This is not set in stone. Don't feel like you have to worry about that. Or do it exactly. I shouldn't say that. Do it exactly. Don't feel like you have to do it exactly the way I did it. A lot of times I'll put English in here for language. You don't have to do that. I mean, mostly folks are going to be English speaking. Okay, and then And then here, okay, so then we're going to select, okay, this is where a lot of folks get confused. So you got to go down to add connection type. So generally I'll pick one of two. If you open up this drop down bar, you're going to get the option to either do people who like your page or friends of people who like your page. Generally I'll pick one of those two. Let's just, in this case, make it easy. I'll do people who have liked your page. Okay. Okay. So you can see our potential reach went from I think it was 40 million there all the way down to 29,000. These are people that, hopefully we've been building a relationship with over time. Okay. And then I just want to show a couple more things before we kind of move on from this. The exclude button is very important nowadays. The reason why is you want to exclude Beachbody coaches. So, because you don't want to be paying for advertising to coaches who aren't going to buy your product, who aren't going to, join your team. So you want to exclude pages that coaches have liked. So there were coaches would generally like. So I exclude, Carl Deichler, Team Beachbody. You could even, Beachbody is a big page. You could exclude that if you really wanted to be super safe. But generally speaking, I just want to exclude my ads from anyone seeing them that would never be interested in buying our product. So as you can see, my potential reach went down 3,000, went from 29,000 to 26,000. Had I not excluded those folks, I would have been marketing to people that had no interest in what I have to sell, or I have to offer them. So I think that's really important. Scroll down a little bit. I generally pick a daily budget, and then I just watch the heck out of it. I never let it, out of my sights. It can be stopped or paused at any time. So don't feel like if you set the budget, it's going to kind of go on forever and it's going to be hard to stop. It's very easy to work with an ads manager. I leave the optimization and delivery the way they are. I set it to automatic and I let Facebook handle it. I've messed around with this in different manual options, and honestly, I've never really seen much of a difference. So I just kind of like to teach it the most simple possible way. I just wanted to show a couple more things. Ad scheduling is a really cool thing. Let's just say you work during the day, and you don't want to run a call to action when you maybe don't have access to a cell phone, or maybe you can't be really responsive to when somebody says, I'm interested. You can schedule your ads to run from 7 o'clock at night to midnight if you want. You can have that budget spent in an hour when you're available to really take care of those potential customers, challengers, or fitness support. So I just wanted to point that out. I think that came out a couple of months ago, and it hasn't really gotten a lot of action. So I just want to make sure everybody's aware that you can do that. Because I'm a big believer. I know Amy will tell you. I'm a big believer that you can't let these things sit. When you have a call to action out there and somebody says, I'm in, you have a much better chance with them if you get to it, right away or within, a short period of time than if you kind of let that sit for 12 hours or 24 hours, whatever. Because I think people just move on. I think so many times, I've been into something and then I kind of life gets whatever and I move on and I may even forget that I said I'm interested in whatever service someone was asking for or providing, offering.
So with that, Brian, then you could go in, do your ad, and then put it to say, you won't be around till the next day, all day or whatever. You can make it that it would actually go live then once it's been approved, or how does that work?
So when you schedule that, it's going to give you a bar. It's going to give you a graph, and you fill in the times of the days that you want the ads to run. So if you, if you start, so let's just say it's 8 o'clock in the morning, and you fill in, 7 o'clock p.m. to midnight, and it gets approved at 9 o'clock a.m. It doesn't start running until 7 o'clock p.m. And then it it pushes all the budget into that 5-hour period where normally it would have spread it out during the whole day.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. I think especially if you're working during the day, if you have other obligations, I think that's pretty cool. Okay, so the last thing I want to show you is just really quick here. I just want you guys to be aware that when I'm running these ads, I'm usually only running them in newsfeed. So I unclick. Most of the time, you're also going to have Instagram as a default option here. And I would unclick both Instagram. I don't know why Instagram's not there. It normally is. But I would unclick Instagram and I would unclick desktop right column. 99% of your ads are going to be shown in mobile news anyways. But you don't want to like waste your budget on ads showing somewhere in Instagram where it's hard for you to figure out. Like if you want to run Instagram ads, you should probably have its own ad and not have it all, sort of spread out, because you want to make sure that you're monitoring what's working for you and what's not. And it's hard to monitor when some of your budget's going to Instagram and some of it's going to mobile news feed. So I would just it's going to default with this checkbox in it up here by mobile newsfeed. I would just click on that just to get rid of both desktop and Instagram. I would click place the order, and that's that. You just wait for Facebook to approve it. It's laid out a lot better than it used to be. It's not, it's really not that overwhelming. Before you're even ready to run ads, you can go in and play with it, and you just don't click place order in the end, and you can mess around with whatever targets that you'd like. All right, so I'm going to just click off screen share here. There you go. Am I off screen share?
Yep.
So then what are you paying for exactly? Like you're paying for Facebook to show it to more people, and the more money you pay, the more people they'll show it to you?
Yeah, exactly. Now, the beauty of it and why I love it so much is that you can control almost 100% who's seeing your ad. So you can control, your target market, who, it has been successful in working with you and who you like to work with. So you can really control who sees those ads by picking targeted demographics for, now it's not always a perfect science. Sometimes it takes some, tweaking, and I'm always tweaking things on our ads. But yeah, that's the answer. You're paying for more eyes on your content.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
And
sort
then
of
you just
weird in the
stop
beginning, right?
it.
Like I'm paying Facebook for the right to use Facebook.
Yeah.
It's sort of weird, but
And then once you've gotten a good response, you just stop and cancel that ad and stop paying for it? Or
can you
is
say
it
that again, Megan? What was it?
once you've gotten a good response from the ad, you then stop advertising it?
When I get a good response, man, I run that thing until it doesn't work anymore. I have ads that I've been running for 6 months on there, and I'm always messing around with new ads, and you'll see if you ever watch Amy's newsfeed or Amy Provenzano Fitness, what we do. I'm always messing around. I'm not always successful. I will run ads that are not work at all sometimes, or maybe they'll work but not at a price that I'm willing to pay. For example, like sometimes an ad will work. It'll get me it'll get me a good response, but it's more expensive. For whatever reason, Facebook deems the target that I'm going after to be more expensive. So, it doesn't make financial sense to pay, $5 for every I'm in, when I can, if I keep tweaking it, I can get it much cheaper than that. Does that make sense?
So you pay for everyone that comments on it?
Well, yeah, because think about it. You pay Facebook. No, it's not like a per comment charge, but that's sort of like a metric that I personally use.
Okay.
So I say, let's just use round numbers. If 1,000 reach costs you $10, okay, and I get 1 response, that's usually not very good. But if I get 10 responses or 12 responses, so I only paid like less than $1 per response, then that I would consider that to be a strong call to action, and that works for me over time, because I'm paying for convenience. I'm paying for the ability to be able to meet people, right, for Amy to meet people in a real, in a controllable way, like where I don't have to, like she does. you know, I got to go back. I want to talk about something real quick. Like back in the day when Amy first got in this business, she built her business through her fitness support page. Beachbody Babes is the name of it. All of her business came from that. And back in the day, you'd have to meet people like one by one, either on Twitter, there was no Instagram, or Facebook, like friends of friends on Facebook. And I'm still a big believer in that. I know people that still do that to this day. But it's hard. You have to go one by one. You have to join groups. It's more time consuming. Now you can build that for the support page through your like page, and the people will come to you for just a few bucks a day. And that's why I'm a big believer in it. It really makes everything much quicker, much easier. If that makes any sense at all. I don't know if I even answered the question there, but
yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So anything less than $1 would be a good return on investment, I guess.
That's how I view it. I mean, I have run thousands of dollars worth of ads. So I can, like, I have this down to a science. Like, I'm a numbers guy. Like, I like measuring, if things are working, and I can throw some numbers at you. Like, when I put a call to action out there, the things that I'm looking at are reach versus I'm interested. So have you seen our calls to action where we're asking for someone to say I'm in or I'm interested? Have you seen that?
Yeah.
If you ever get a minute, just take a look at Amy's like page. It'll be easy for you to find the calls to action where we're asking people to sort of like raise their hand and say I'm interested in a challenge group. Okay. So I launched that ad and I paid to boost through Ads Manager, I pay to boost it. And what I'm doing in the first couple hours is I'm monitoring it and I'm comparing the reach. So reach is how many people saw it to how many people said, I'm interested. Okay. So if too many people saw it, but didn't say I'm interested, I'm like, okay, this ad sucks. I'm going to move on. I'm going to try something else. If what I think is a reasonable number are saying I'm interested compared to the amount that have seen it, then I'll let it run and I might even pump more money into it. My personal goal is somewhere around 300 reach per I'm interested for our ads. That's what I look for challenge groups. Now, if you're filling a fitness support group and it's free and you're doing a 5-day clean eating, then people will raise their hand like nobody's business for free. Okay, it should be much easier to do that. So does that make sense at all? Like, I know I'm a numbers dork and I'm like, I don't want to lose anybody, but that's really, if you want to measure like how you're doing with your like page, that's how I do it.
What would you say for like a first?
Always.
What would you say for like a first call to action? Like I'm just looking at Amy's page right now and it was, I need some serious moms. So like that kind of call to action, if you're to send that out, what would you put as your like how long would you initially set that to run it? Or would you just put it set continuously and then take it off if it didn't work?
I set a per day amount that I feel comfortable with, and then I run it until it's just not working anymore. If you're looking at the one on Amy's page where it's like a mom and she's jogging, that's a good example of one that didn't work. Okay, that one worked last year for me, and I'm like, I was kind of being lazy, and I was like, I'll just run this again. It worked last year, it'll work again, and it really didn't. Now, if you look at the one on Amy's page where it's like a mom and she's doing yoga with like a young girl, that one works. That one has worked over and over and over for me over the last 6 months. I've run that one consistently, and it does work.
It doesn't for me.
It doesn't? Oh, that's right. It didn't work for you. We got to keep messing with the targets, though. I mean, sometimes it's targeting also.
Yeah.
And you didn't use the exact same picture. That's the thing is I will mix up, if I really believe in the text, I'll mix up the picture. Mm-hmm. I don't know why that one, and it's not really that great of a picture. Like the text on the picture is actually kind of hard to read, but it still works. I don't know what it is about that. I want to give you guys one more tip though. One of the things that I do almost every single day on my iPhone is I'll pull up Amy's newsfeed, okay? And I'll go through one by one, and I'll just scroll for like 5-10 minutes on her newsfeed. And what I'm looking for is posts that are sponsored. What I'm basically looking for is other coaches' ads in my newsfeed. And then when I see one, I look at, okay, how's this ad doing? Is she getting a lot of comments? Is she getting a lot of people interested in what she's offering? And I take a picture of it, and I have a file, and I keep a file. And when I'm ready to do a call to action, I go back and look at those, because success always leaves clues. And this is one of those things where, you don't always have to recreate the wheel. I'm not by any means saying copy what they're doing, but you can definitely copy the concepts of what you're doing. And I think over time, if you pay attention to what's coming through your news feed, you will pick up on things like, different, like the way this person did a picture did really well. It's really good for ideas, because we're all kind of in the same business and doing the same thing. So just an idea as to, I put a file up in the like page group not a while ago with a lot of my pictures that I had put, saved from my phone for ideas if you want to start there. But that's one thing I do all the time, just for ideas on calls to actions.
Yeah, I do that too, for sure.
Yeah.
See what people are saying, different ways of wording things and what pictures they're using.
Right.
And then just make it your own.
And here's another tip on that. If you see like lots of likes, right? Like if you see a call to action from, let's just use one for an example, like Anita Myron, right? If you see like it's got, sometimes you'll see it'll have like 1,000 likes, okay? And 20 comments, okay? To me, like, I'm not an expert, but to me, that's not a winner, because that means that she ran that ad. Like if you have 1,000 likes, you spent some money to run that ad, okay? But she's not getting the comments. Really all that matters is the comments, if that's what they're asking for. So what I'm looking for is, people saying I'm interested. It's sometimes hard if they're using a Wufoo form, but, take a look at that. Take a look at your news. That's just one suggestion. Take a look at your own news feed. It's a great place to start with these things.
And like, how soon after you start up a like page can you start making these ads? Like, do I need to have mine up and running for quite a while before I can throw an ad out there?
It used to be that you needed 400 likes, but I don't know if that's true anymore. If you have your ads manager, like if you go into in the groups on the left-hand side and you see ads manager, I'm sure you could run ads.
Yeah, you can run an ad. Like I only have 130 likes and I could run an ad if I wanted to.
It used to be a number. It used to be like 400 that you needed, but I think they probably got rid of that to boost revenue.
Mm-hmm.
And how often would Amy, or would you run a join my looking for people ad? I guess you call it as call to action.
I'm like a different, we run ads every day except for Friday pretty much, or like when Amy's overwhelmed. So like we're two people. So we have like this system, like I run the ads, I do all that content. And I also actually do the first contact with the person. Like we have the same thing that we will send to each person and sort of like the friend request part. And then Amy kind of takes it from there. But, that gets expensive. If you're running ads every single day, it's going to add up and it's an investment. But I will tell you this, I run lots of ads and I get great responses earlier in the week. So Sunday and Monday are the best days. So if you've only got limited budget, focus on Sundays and Mondays, because like Sunday night and into Monday just seems to work really well. I don't know if people just like go off the wagon hard on the weekends and then just, decide that they're going to get it all back, or whatever. But Sundays and Mondays seem to be the best. And I never run ads on Fridays, so I can never get any good responses. It just seemed like Fridays wasn't ever working for me. Weekends can be good as well. But we run ads all the time. We're kind of crazy when it comes to that stuff.
Brian.
But I will say this: you don't want to run ads to the same targets all the time. Like for me, I will switch up the targets because think about it this way. Like if you run an ad with a target of your own followers, okay? And then at the same time, you run an ad with a cold target of like whatever. Like let's just use an example, like Target store. Oh, you guys don't have Target. Like whatever, Pampers or something. The people aren't like the two groups are not the same. They're not going to see it. So it's not like you're recycling ads to the same people. Does that make sense? Like you can run multiple ad targets and it's just like, it's almost like one goes that way and one goes another way. And like, they don't see it's not like you're recycling the same ad to the same people over and over again. And you're looking really salesy.
On the weekend, I did one to the United States, and then I did this like the same ad, but I targeted it to Ontario, but I excluded 15 miles from me because I don't want any more people.
Is that Team Technique? Was that all?
Oh. So it was like the same ad, but it was to two different places.
Yeah, and that's totally fine because those two are not gonna intersect. So that's the beauty of Facebook is you've got complete control over it. It's not like it just goes out and just, into the abyss or the same people see it all the time.
And it was terrible in both places.
Well, that's the thing with these Facebook ads. Like the thing with it is you really gotta have, some patience with it because it doesn't like people see our success, but or with it, or they'll see, man, you've got 100 comments on this page or 100 comments on this call to action. You guys didn't see those 10 that sucked before it that I felt like I was wasting my money on. But when you get one that works, then you can run that one for a while, and generally they will work. Because you'll see them in your newsfeed too. If you ever pay attention, you'll see where somebody ran the ad and they've been running it since July or something, and just trust me, they wouldn't be running it since July if it wasn't working for them.
You know that Jen Wall, Brian?
Yes. You're going to pass her this year, I think, right?
Yeah, I want to. She has run the same ad since she started. And I tried a picture, like I almost tried the exact same thing. Nothing. Like it just.
Maybe her target is different though. There's two skills there. It's content and target.
Yeah.
So if one is off, it's not going to work. Do you know Cheyenne? I don't know if you guys ever heard of Cheyenne Tracy. She was from upstate New York. We knew her a little bit, and she, just from Super Saturdays and stuff. And she started showing up at Super Saturdays, being like, "Yeah, I got like 60, 80, 100 Success Club points." He was a new coach. What she had the same ads running all over and over again. You can see them on her Country Girl Fitness like page.
Oh yeah.
And her strategy was, look, in the beginning, I love this strategy, by the way. Her strategy was, look, I'm only making a couple $100 a week at this business. I'm just getting the ball rolling. I don't need the couple $100 a week. It's not killing me. I'm going to build a mega business with this couple $100 a week because I'm going to sink it back into the Facebook ads and really build something huge. And next thing you know, she built something huge. It took her a year or so to do it, but I'm a big believer in the way she did it. She has a very simple ad. She uses video. Like, go check out her page if you have a minute. It's Country Girl Fitness, and you can see her calls to action under her videos because she uses videos for her and simple videos. If you ever, you can cut up these videos. They're very easy. Like, if you need help, let me know. I do it as well. But yeah, same deal.
So that was kind of a question that I had, and I know you're hesitant to say what amount we should be spending because we all have different budgets and comfortability with it. But like when you first, like, what would you say would be, like, is $1 really gonna, am I just wasting my dollar or am I just wasting my $5 a day? Yeah.
Canadian dollar even worth? No.
Nothing. Should it be $10 a day? Like, is that? So
let me ask you this. So on the subject of $10 a day, so that's gonna, if you could commit $300 a month to your business, and if done right, you have you could make that work. You could make that a noticeable difference to your business, and honestly, I'm sure you could probably make it back. would that be okay? Would you be willing to commit to that for say 3 to 6 months? Because I mean, that's what I would recommend doing for sure. I mean, you don't have to spend $10 a day, but I'm a big believer in it. I'm a big believer, like Michelle said, learn, we have a really unique business in that the top coaches will literally share everything they know about the business, like almost no BS. And if you like poke around, like if you ask me or if you ask like top coach, they'll tell you about their like page, and you can learn everything you need to know to build a big business just using a like page. But yeah, I mean, $1 a day is probably, if I'm being totally honest, you're not gonna get those real noticeable results with that.
Yeah, I'd rather not spend $1. Like, I'd rather not waste $1 if I could spend 10 or 20 or whatever the number is and actually have a return from it. Because otherwise, like, I would just be spending $30 a month,
right?
and it's like poof.
Right. And then what's happened is maybe you won't get results, and maybe you will, because I've seen this with many coaches, is maybe they just didn't put the time into it, because that's key too. You've got to really dig into it, because otherwise it's just throwing money at the wind. And where was I going here? Okay.
So you have to be ready to manage it.
Dig in and say, I'm going to learn this, and I'll lean on Brian, I'll lean on Michelle, but I'm also going to commit, $200-300, whatever it is, a month, and you will see results for sure. The ones that sort of had trouble with it are either not committing, the investment, or not really taking the time to learn the platform. Like when I got into this, I was obsessed with this. I was working a corporate job, I was working for MetLife, and I was working a lot of hours, but I mean, I spent a lot of hours at MetLife learning like pages, and it worked. I mean, I was just completely obsessed with figuring it out because I had seen some other coaches do really well with it, and I just believed in it. Somebody just Terry just messaged me, this is kind of a low overhead business anyways. Like if in Amy and I's business, we spend a lot on these like pages, but I don't even think we spend 10% of our income on like pages. If you just put, money back into it, it pays. It pays. You don't have to do any other advertising if you do this.
Yeah.
It'll pay you back. Especially if this is sort of just like fun money anyways. Like I remember when Amy was new, this was just fun money to her. Like it was, we were obviously not doing as well, but like we didn't miss the money. So if you told me, look, you can build something really great with that money instead of, whatever, buying whatever with it, I would have probably jumped at it.
That's really good advice.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
Different kind of question. And I think I asked this in the like page, but I can't remember, or that page. When you're tagging a picture from your like page, you tag yourself, should you only do that maybe once a week or twice a week? Because I've noticed when I've been doing it, I'm trying to test it out, but after 3 tags, it seems to group them all in this group.
You did ask that in the like page group, and I did not know the answer to it. And
That's okay.
But I'm writing myself a note now to.
I don't think anyone knows the
I don't know. I don't do that very often.
Yeah, like it's there's no real rhyme or reason that I've seen yet. It just, one week I was able to do one day, and then the next day, like 2 days later, it was fine, and then a third one, but then the following week, it seemed all of a sudden just group it right back in again. So, like again, creepy Facebook is probably going, you can't do that to your own page kind of thing. But then I see, say on other top coaches, they're tagged separate ones individually. So I didn't know if it's a Facebook thing or if I wasn't doing it right, or you know what I mean?
So why would you want to tag yourself in it?
So
it ends up on your personal profile?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So sometimes we'll do that with a call to action, especially like a Sunday night call to action on Amy's personal, so we just wanted to show on Amy's personal page because what happens is, like Michelle was saying in the video, like you will end up pulling people from your like page over to your personal page. And if you're not in like constant contact with them, they may not see all your posts or whatever. You may lose touch with them, and we've reconnected on Amy's personal page by doing stuff like that, just, you know, tagging Amy in the Amy Provenzano fitness pictures. So yeah, that's a good question. I don't know the answer to it, but I'll certainly look it up for you.
Sure.
I've scoured YouTube for that answer, and lots of people talk about it, Darlene, and they don't know the answer. Like,
No.
that's what they say. We have no idea why it happened. Sometimes it'll show up, sometimes it'll group. I think I've watched like 7 different videos, and that's what they all said. I don't know. But videos, when you tag yourself in videos, they go all the time. Yeah.
There may be a limit. There may be a 30-day limit or something, or, you know, I don't know. Facebook wants to keep, you know, you to the business page. You know, that's where they make money. They don't make any money on your personal page. So they want to keep everybody over to their business page for sure.
So should you maybe only say do it once a week, or is it even any benefit? To me, I would think doing it even once a week, because more people are going to see that on your personal page than they will, like you were saying, the reach and how many people actually see it on your like page. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. I mean, it may give you a different pool of people that see it. I mean, but like on your personal page, it's still subject to the algorithm as well. Like when you post on your personal page, if you have 100 friends, 100 aren't going to see it. It's still subject to that, you know, that filter algorithm that they use. So, but we do it because, you know, like I said, just it allows you to reconnect with people that maybe were interested 6 months ago, didn't commit, and, you know, maybe they'll see it again and now they're ready.
Yeah. Okay.
Because you'll end up building that Facebook friends list up, you know, in a hurry. Your personal, just from your like page, just from working. One thing I also just want to get at, just real quick, is, you know, we're kind of mentioning budgets and stuff like that. If you've got a real limited budget, go with the things that are easy, like filling your free groups, because you'll get way more interest on like $5 or $10 on a free group than you will on a challenge group. So just because you don't see Amy and I doing that all that often, we probably should do it more. But I just want to kind of make that point. If you've only got a limited budget, and that's totally fine, you can still be successful with it. I would gear my calls to action more towards the free stuff, the free fitness support group, and like the free 5-day group. I mean, I've seen people kill it with the free 5-day groups. You know, get hundreds of people interested on, you know, whatever, a limited budget, and then you know, sort of build that relationship through the free group. That's a great way to do it as well. We kind of get away from that sometimes because it's a little bit more work, you know, but it's a great way to do it.
What would you say would be a goal? Because I'm like Megan, I just started my like page. What would be a goal for likes, like a realistic goal to reach, you know, by summit, let's say? How many likes should I realistically be going for? I have 132.
Well, your like total is entirely dependent on your budget as far as running ads for likes. So, you know, your likes, if you're running ads for likes and they're targeted, you should probably be anywhere in like the 15 to 25 cent range per like. Okay. So I've seen it lower, I've seen it higher, but I wouldn't run ads for any more than 25 cents a like. So it just depends on how much you're willing to commit to it. But like I was saying before, like I would run, if I was trying to build my like total, I would just kind of build it to a couple thousand or something, and then spend almost all of my budget on calls to action that are going to return on, you know, because you're building that like total. Let's just say you build it to 2,000 likes or something, and it costs you a few $100 to do that. You're not really guaranteed on any return on that. If you run calls to action for free groups and challenge groups, you're gonna, like, it's not always gonna be a balance, but you're gonna get return on investment almost every time on that over the long haul. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like over the month, like you may not get a return on every call to action, but I mean every month we're close on our. I mean we're close, if not. I mean some months we're way ahead. But that's just always how I viewed it. I had a number algorithm. So I had a number in my like if I spent a certain number, if we got Success Club whatever off of it, then we broke even. I could probably give that to you. I can't remember what it was, but Just there's easy ways to track it. Because I always viewed it as, and this is just me personally, kind of been in the business a little bit longer. I always viewed it as like if I broke even on my Facebook ad spend as opposed to the first challenge pack sale, that I was doing great. Because then you get all the residual sales, and really the real life-changing money in this business is through building a team. So, you build a team through, meeting people, earning Success Club, and then sort of turning them on to the same business that you're in. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's always how I looked at it. But it's different when you're building, when you're new to it and maybe unsure about the whole thing.
Because my process, or my thought process anyways, is that if I can build my likes, then hopefully with people that I don't know, obviously, then I can friend request them and then start that conversation to then put them, as like in Michelle's video today about the like page and support page, get them over into my support page where I can continue to connect with them, and then I don't know. And then hopefully they'll buy a challenge, hopefully they'll be a challenger.
That's a whole nother way to do it. And I can talk about that real quick. Like, you can run ads, okay? And then for your target market, and I didn't really go into that, but we can, whatever, on a later date or whatever. And then every person that comes in, you can send them a message saying, hey, this is Heidi from, I don't know what your like page is, from Heidi Rumor Fitness or whatever it is. Thanks for liking my page. And are you into fitness, or what made you like the page? And then just kind of with an open-ended question, and then just kind of start the conversation from there. I promise you'll get people in your, and then if your only goal is to lead them to a fitness support group, it's really easy to do that. Lots of ladies will be interested in getting, free support. One thing to keep in mind though, you have to sort of watch how many you do in any one day. Like, you don't want to do 100 in a day. You want to sort of, and I'm sure you won't, but we got a warning at one point that we were doing that too many times a day. I think it was somewhere in the 25, 30 range a day. If you're in the 20 range, I'm sure you'll be fine. But that's a great way to do it too. If that's your goal, if you run a like page ad for targeted followers for whatever, amount a day, and reach out to each person that likes your page and just offer support.
So you mean running an ad for your whole like page? So an ad to like my page?
Yeah, right. We've done that for years. That's how we built our page. I didn't go into it, but, I can show you what ours looks like if you're ever interested. I've run almost the exact same ad for likes for 3 years.
That's
I
what
feel like that's what I'd like to do.
You want to see it now? You have time?
Yeah, I think so. This thing doesn't just clock out, does it?
Do you have the Pro or the?
Yeah.
No, I don't think there's any. I don't think there's any time limit. All right, let me see if I can find it real quick here.
You can spend all day just learning about this stuff and never actually do anything.
Well, that's the danger. Is you become an expert, but then there's no action, and you don't really gain. You may know a lot about it, but I always just kind of throw stuff at the wall and learn as I go.
Yeah.
Close your eyes and do it.
There you go. There you go. All right, let's see.
So could we technically right now, while you're showing us, could we make an ad for our own page?
Sure, why not? If you're ready to go, yeah.
I don't know.
You need a picture ready, Megan.
Let me show you what our like page ad looked like.
Okay.
And we're not running it actively right now. Let me see if I can find it first.
Megan, I think when I first started my like page, there was actually on the side it popped up to say, hey, do you want to spend $5 to boost your page? But it was just my like page. So there is a way, and then it basically took the header in my like page as the ad.
Yeah, that's the default. If you got a minute, I'll show you exactly how to do it. It's really easy. So this right here, you guys can see my screen, right?
Yep.
Okay, so this was our like page ad. If I was going to run ads to build likes, I would do almost the exact same thing. And I've run the same thing for a long time. If it's just real simple, I borrowed the text from another coach like 4 years ago, 3 years ago, and it just has always worked for us. The key with it is, the picture has got to be it's got to grab the person, and it's got to be this sideways rectangle. It's sort of a weird size requirement, but this picture, like sort of planking pictures or any sort of horizontal picture works really well for that. Here, I just want to show you while we're doing this. You guys know Kelly Roberts from TRU, right? I don't know if you ever seen her post or whatever. This ad has been really successful for her as well. This is a like page ad with her and Brody, her son, and she's run this same thing for if you have a kid and you can get the kid in the picture, usually it works better. A lot of moms seem to be attracted to it. But, just kind of some ideas as to, what you would do with a like ad. And then to actually, get that into somebody's newsfeed, click on that green button again, like I just did. And then you would click the promote your page section here. Wait for that to come up. Like what Heidi was saying is true. It's going to default usually with your cover photo and then whatever text you put in describing your page. You don't want to run it like that. You could probably get better results using a different image. So I just selected Amy's like page because I'm the ads dude for a bunch of them. And you get the same sort of targeting options here. I'm just gonna leave it the way it was because it's basically the same sort of targeting that I would have used with a call to action. You just really want to find your target, your core market. And this is what we're going to talk about, the creative. As you can see, like Heidi was saying, that it defaults Amy's cover page and her description of the page. So you just want to I would usually take that out and I would write, looking to take your fitness to the next level, all caps, question mark, follow me, all caps, follow me for fitness tips and motivation, let's say. Okay, done, easy. Do that. Then we're gonna change the picture out to, whatever picture we wanna use, take it off right side column and run the ad. It's really that simple. So that is an ad to build your like total. Now, with that, you're gonna wanna monitor in your ads manager. So go back here. Gal keeps popping up on Amy's news feed. Okay, and then, so you wanna go back to your ads manager. And here is where this is the front page of Amy's ads manager. And here is where you're going to see all the ads you're running. You want to pay attention to the cost over here on the side. You're going to see a cost per like on there. Okay, that's the number you want to monitor. If that number gets much higher than 30 cents a like, you really want to start changing things until it gets lower. The reason for that is you want the name of the game with likes is to get them as cheap as possible so that you can maximize your budget. We have some coaches on TRU getting that 8 to 10 cents per like range. That's really fantastic. Most of them are in the 15, low 20s. So keep that in mind if you're doing. Now I'm showing my budget here. Now you guys probably all freaking out. Yeah, I worked up to that. Trust me. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that, but
I have never spent anything like that.
No, you don't have to spend it. I'm I'm really, really into it. Don't worry about what I do because we worked up to it. The first couple of years, I was doing the $300-400 a month range. And
to be honest, my first 6 or 7 months, I think I spent $1 a day. or it might have even been $3 a week. I can't remember, but for likes. So just like the ad that you were just shown, that's what I did. And then every once in a while, I would do that boosting of a call to action. And probably for the last 6 months, I've maybe done calls to action twice a month, maybe, but I haven't done very much.
If you're doing calls to action that have a target to get, or that have an objective to get ladies into challenge groups, it's just more expensive. That's just I know through testing it just is. If your goal is to build your like total, Michelle's up to like over 6,000 likes on that budget. It just takes time. If your goal is to build your like total and build your fitness support group and build your team through that, I think that's a great objective as well. And that can be done much, much cheaper. I don't want to turn anybody off by looking at what I do, because we really did build up to where we are, and we're trying to go hard at it. We run a lot of calls to action for challenge groups and coaching, which tend to be more expensive.
You can do whatever. Like, there's no rules, I guess, this is how you do it, but you have to do what's right for you.
Yeah. We always look at it like this is a business, and you are going to need tax write-offs on this thing eventually, or you're just going to end up writing the check to whatever, the Canadian government, US government. So we don't have a lot of, tons of other expenses. So we do choose to pump money back into it to, keep our business going.
What I can tell you from having like a brick and mortar business that I'm running at the same time, this is the cheapest kind of business you will ever have. Ever. This thing makes me more money spending $2 on little ads than I've made in 20 years at a salon. So to invest a little bit and put it back in is totally worth it. 100% worth it.
I agree.
In my opinion.
Mine too.
Beachbody disclaimer.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, if you mention income at all, you got to put that disclaimer in there. And don't be mad at me if I got to come and say, Heidi, disclaimer, girl.
Don't worry, I work in insurance, so I'm all about the fine print. Don't worry.
I used to do insurance too. It sucks, man. I hate insurance. Holy cow.
I guess there's no right or wrong way. It's just, I think we're all kind of in the same boat, and I don't want to speak for everyone, but I want to grow really fast. I want to grow fast. I want to make a lot of money. I'm in. I want to and I don't know. I don't know what I don't know. I don't know if the best approach is to go after likes, get them in a support group, and then go after them from that way, or is the best approach to target like a call to action to try to fill challenge groups and hit SC 50 every month. And I don't know which.
Well, think about how much time you have to commit to it, and how much budget you want to spend on it, and what do you like doing? Do you feel like Amy loves challenge groups. Mm-hmm. That's her jam. She can run challenge groups, and that's really where she gets a lot of the joy in this business from, and she does it really, really well. And so we like filling those challenge groups because we feel like that's where we find most of the coaches that fuel our business. So, and the other thing is, don't be afraid to start throwing stuff at the wall either, and find out what works for you. Because it's really hard for me to say, go in this direction or go in that direction. I have seen many different directions work. And I don't want to sort of make it too confusing, but that's really how I feel about it. You can be successful spending a lot of your budget on calls to action. You can be successful building your brand, like Michelle has chosen to do with her like page, building those really great relationships and building it slower. It's really up to you. I mean, if you want to go hard and if you're going to, pump money back into it, maybe we could talk about it on a one-on-one or something where, we really sort of dig into what your budget's going to be and where it's best to allocate it. I don't know. it's gonna, and the other thing is, how comfortable do you feel with the platform also? Because you don't want to run it, you don't want to really go hard until you really feel comfortable
Yeah.
with what you're doing.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
I have a question. Can you run an ad to get people into your support group?
Not directly. Like, you can't put the link. Well, I guess you could put the link in there. I've never seen anybody do it. I guess you could. Actually, now that I think about it, you probably could. Because you could probably boost a post. That's probably a really good idea, actually. That, you know, like, you could probably boost a post with a link to the group saying, you know, this is my group. We have a great bunch of ladies. Request, you know, if you'd like to join us, request entry, something like that. Because we've done that before, similarly with like 5-day coaching groups, where we'll run an ad, you know, saying, you know, request, you know, just say, like, tag me in the comment, or they'll say something like, put whatever post in the comments and request entry into the group. That might be something to try.
Like, I feel like I'd like to try that.
Do you know how you would do that, right? Like, all you would do is copy the link from the group. Like, go to the group on your Facebook, copy the link from the browser, and then create whatever content you wanted to get somebody into it, and then say, you know, if you'd like to join us, request entry, and then put the link in the text.
So I don't need to have a picture or anything, because that link will have a picture.
I mean, it might work better with a picture, some sort of, you know, Canva thing, or, you know, something that's eye-catching. Or not. I mean, for a while I was running lots of calls to action that had no picture at all. I've done this I feel like the old dog here. I've done this every possible way, you know. But, you know, you could try it however you like. Generally, it's cheaper to run without a picture. So
because our support groups are closed groups, just because they click on that link, it'll request to join.
Yes.
Is that what happens?
Generally,
you don't have to create anything.
Right. Yeah. So generally, if it's some dude in Pakistan or something, or just an example, like, that is not, you know, that doesn't fit the requirements of the group. If it has to be a ladies group, because you'll get that too. It's like, you'll get weirdos.
Oh, yeah.
But generally, not that anybody from Pakistan is a weirdo. That's not what I'm saying. But I mean, I always do that. But anyways, yeah, it doesn't give them entry.
Right.
Automatically.
Okay.
You can sort of weed through them. Because do you guys get that? I see with Amy's page too. Like, people request entry into the group that have no
They're
good
weird
business.
from Pakistan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of Asians we got
Crazy.
And and their goal is
that
to
are fake
any
accounts.
group, and then sort of put some sort of, you know, clickbait or something, you know, sell something within the group.
Yeah.
And then there's some dudes that are just creeps that, you know, whatever. They see whatever name of your group, they know it's all ladies, and they, you know, they want to get
I think that's a good idea. Megan.
Terry's been known to do that, right, Michelle?
Terry does that all the time. Watch
Isn't that how you guys met?
That's how we met in my private.
I thought so. He snuck through the filter. Yeah.
Megan, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. I hope I can figure out how to do that.
Well, that's what we're here for. You know, like, don't ever be afraid to reach out for help. Yeah.
Okay.
No, or whoever, but like, you know, this is what I do all day. So don't be.
So I'm just going to go through that whole create an ad process, and I'm just going to copy my link from my support group and just say, like, hey, looking for ladies to join.
Well, the process would be, probably the easiest way to do it would be to put the post, to create the post just like a regular post on your like page. And then you go back, you click the Ads Manager link on the left-hand side, and then you'll see that green button in the top. And then you would boost the post. It's the top option. So you boost that post just like any other call to action.
And then you'll just scroll through your posts and you'll find
Yeah,
it.
you'll see it.
Just click it.
Yeah. And if you have any questions, just shout, just ask, because that's, you know, you'll get the hang of it. You really will. I went through all these things quickly tonight, and it may be overwhelming but I promise you, it really is laid out in a user-friendly way. And if you're new to it and you really start messing around with it, you'll get it.
And is there a different cost for boosting a post? Like,
so the way you do it is you commit a certain budget, whether it be a lifetime budget or a daily budget. And then Facebook decides based on your targets and how great your post is, how far that budget goes.
So you can decide how much you want to spend.
Right. So it's not like an uncontrollable thing. It's you decide. It doesn't have to be, some large amount.
You can put $2 in there. You can put $200.
Yeah. Be careful. I think it defaults to like $350, right?
I did that one.
Yeah. Oh, it was you that did that. I remember somebody did that. Yeah, accidentally. And it ran for a couple of days, right?
No, you caught it. You caught it in an hour. That must have been someone else, thank God.
That does happen, work, because they're sneaky. They put that default in there, $300.
And then you would have paid like $300 a day?
I can't remember. I think it defaults $300 lifetime, right?
Pardon?
Does it default $300 a day or lifetime? I think it's lifetime.
I think it's lifetime.
But it could definitely blow through $40-50 in a day if you.
It did. So in 1 hour, it was $55.
Yeah.
However, I had 45 I'm-ins.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing was not one person responded to me. So none of those people were it was a waste of $55.
Well,
it was a mistake.
We didn't kind of get into it, but and we're I'm going on and on and on, but with the I'm-ins, follow-up is crucial. You don't have a relationship with this person. So you've got to really follow up and build that, or you're going to be wasting your money. We have follow-up systems. We're really aggressive about, following up with and staying in touch with your coaches. The better your follow-up is, the better you'll do with this. It's not just somebody says, typically I'm in, and then, okay, Amy sends them the link and it's over. It's definitely a process.
I'm just now getting people that have said I'm in months and months and months ago, and they're following my page now, and I maybe got them into the support group, but maybe not. They're just coming around now. It does take a long time, but I think the theory now of messaging them right away when they like your page, getting them into your support group, if you have a support group, there you're going to build that relationship with them faster, but you just have to keep talking to them personally, following up.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that alone, if you've only got a few bucks to spend, that's where I would spend it for sure. That's a great way to build this. I mean, there's coaches on TRU that's all they have. They don't have a like page. They just have a fitness support group, and they just meet people, a couple people per day, and just continue to meet, build this fitness support group. And next thing you know, it's 800 ladies or 1,000 ladies, and that really fuels the whole business for you. And that's all you need. Think about it this way. You can easily fuel that fitness support group all the time. All you have to do is just continue to foster that relationship with these ladies.
And I think that's what I want to focus on, is just getting more people into my support group and using the like page as basically the vehicle to get
That's a great way to look at it. Yeah. And you can certainly do that.
So on a support page, you have the ability to say, hey, run a promotion. And I know, Megan, you were really successful with this. For every person whoever adds the most people into my support page wins whatever, a prize. Can you do that with a like page? Can you get other people to send your like page link to their friends? That
I think is against the like page terms of use.
Oh, okay.
So, but there's ways around it. For example, we've run contests in the past. We used to run these. We don't do this as much anymore, but we should probably do it. We would run contests where if somebody, all they had to do was put their email in the comments, and I would give away something stupid like yoga booty ballet or something totally, small, $15 or something. I would get 300 emails 300 comments with very little budget. So if you're into email marketing, that's a great way, to just run contests, to build your email list. or, I mean, you could structure a contest in a different way, like, you know, for every person that recommends someone to my fitness support group, you know, like you go in a drawing or something, but you can't, I don't think you can say for every person that shares my post or page. Facebook doesn't like that.
Okay.
Because that's sort of circumventing their ads platform. You know, like if you think like it's getting more reach without paying them.
Right.
That's Zuckerberg.
Smart dude.
He is.
Yes. All right. Well, I got to go to bed, ladies and gentlemen. Does anyone else have any questions? Or are our brains mush by now?
Thanks, Brian.
Yes.
Yeah,
anytime.
thanks,
for
Brian.
having me. I appreciate it.
This
If
was
you
good.
guys have any questions, any follow-up, you know how to reach me. I'm always, like I said, always around. You're never inconveniencing Amy or I. So if you have questions, or you know, let us know. We're here.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
Good night.
Good night.
Night.
Bye, guys.